Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sadvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. शारदा शारदाम्भोज वदना वदना भुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं गृहात् श्री शारदा परमेश्वर्यै नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। Namaste once again everyone.
Namaste Guruji.
If somebody has not muted, please mute. So I will we'll continue from where we left off on Wednesday. Okay. And just remind me, today I'll give you homework. So toward the end of the class, in case I forget. So we have actually seen Vyanjana Sandhi. Last one, what we saw was, everybody can say what was the last one?
Anunasika Sandhi. Anunasika Sandhi.
Is what we saw, right?
Yes. Yes.
Good. So there we saw these examples. Vag Moolam becomes Vang Moolam. That Gakara takes the Anunasika Swara of the Anunasika sound of the respective Vargara. Okay, so Vag Moolam becomes Vang Moolam. Shad Mayuka hai become Shan Mayuka hai. Tad Nayati becomes Tan Nayati. And then these are optionals. You can have both. You can either use Vag Moolam or Vang Moolam. Both options are available. But compulsory sandhis are like Chit plus Mayam, Chin Mayam. That is compulsory. Tad plus Matram, Tan Matram compulsory. Up plus Mayam, Ammayam. These are compulsory sandhis. And why compulsory? If the yar letter occurring in the end of the pada is followed by a pratyaya anunasika. So here in all these cases, this mayat, I think it is tral matral pratyaya. I have to check this. This is mayat pratyaya, I know for sure. This matram, I will have to check whether it is matral or what. What is the pratyaya? So when the pratyaya follows this yar letter, then the sandhi is compulsory. Whereas if it is not a pratyaya, it is another pada which is following, then the sandhi is optional. That is the rule for Anunasika sandhi. Next is what we will see, Anuswara sandhi. Right? Anuswara, as you all know, is a makara basically, and which is actually indicated by a dot. Whenever the makara is followed, this Anuswara is followed by a consonant, that makara changes to this dot at the, above the previous sound. But if it is followed by a vowel, that makara remains as makara. So that is Anuswara, it's called sound. Right. So the makara at the end of a pada is converted to Anuswara when it is followed by a hal consonant. Okay. So this is the rule Anuswara sandhi, because if it is followed by a ach consonant, there is no sandhi. It straight away only makara remains makara as Anuswara only. But when it is Hal Sandhi, Hal letter is following, then it takes this form of a dot above the Hal letter. So like example, Shashi Varnam plus Chaturbhujam. So here Cha is following the Makara, which is Anuswara. So it becomes Shashi Varnam Chaturbhujam. So Varnam is in the dot. The M has become a dot here. So Ramam Vande. Similarly, Ramam Vande. Guhayam Tapati. Guhayam Tapati. Krishnam Anusarati. Remains Krishnam Anusarati. So the Makara is not converted into Anuswara because it is followed by a vowel and not a consonant. This in practice, we have seen this rule. We are familiar with it, but that we have to now understand. We are understanding the grammatical basis of that. That change in that Anuswara into this dot, or rather change of Makara into Anuswara. Anuswara is called Anuswara Sandhi. This is what Anuswara Sandhi is about. Any doubt till now?
No.
No doubt?
No.
Okay, good. Next one we will see is what is called Parasavarna Sandhi. Now, Parasavarna Sandhi is an extension of this Anuswara Sandhi. According to that Parasavarna Sandhi rule, an Anuswara, when followed by a Yai, what is a Yai? Yai is starting from huh?
Yakara.
Yakara.
So, starting with semi-vowels except Ha, then it goes on to Nyama, Nyamanganana.
First of the class. It goes up to the first of the class hard like
First of
Chata
the
Taba.
like Kapai, it ends, right?
Kapai, yes.
So all those letters, if they follow an Anuswara, any of those letters, that is converted into Parasavarna, similar sound to the following. In other words, Anuswara followed by Yai becomes the nasal of the following letter. So is Anuswara, that is A sound with Anuswara, plus Kitaha is there. Now Kitaha, what is the nasal sound of Kita belongs to Kavarga. So Na is the nasal sound. So plus Kitaha, that is replaced by ing. So it becomes Ankitaha. This is Parasavarna Sandhi. Okay. Then Mum plus Chati. So Cha is Chakara. Cha cha ja ja nya. Munchati. It becomes this, it takes this nasal sound. Okay, Munchati. Then Mum plus Danam. Danam is what Varga? This is Tavarga. Tavarga, what is the nasal sound? Na. So Mun, it becomes, the Anuswara becomes in, so it becomes Mundanam. So whenever we come across words like Ankita, Munchati, Mundanam, etc., we have to understand that there is a Sandhi is being made here. With and Kita is Ankita. Mum plus Chati is Munchati. Now this word Chati and all, Danam and all may not make any sense in terms of a literal meaning. But we have to understand that it is because of the Sandhi these words have been formed. Nandati. Nam plus Dati is Nandati, because Da against it is Tata Dada Na, right? So Nandati, that takes in sound. So it becomes Nandati. Then Kam plus Pate Papa Baba Ma become Kampate. So this is what we say Parasavarna Sandhi. Now you should note the difference between this Parasavarna Sandhi and Anunasika Sandhi, right? In Anunasika also, it converts into all these like Parasavarna. But the difference is in Anunasika, It is the yar letter which is getting converted to this, whereas in Parasavarna, it is the Anuswara which is getting converted into these nasal sounds. So this difference we must note. So when we are talking of Parasavarna Sandhi, we always talk about preceding Anuswara. So that is very, very important for us to note the difference. Okay. Any doubt now in this? Clear?
Even though it is within one word, the Sandhi is within one word.
Yeah, it is within one word, within the same pada.
Okay.
It is within the same pada. But when we want to understand how that the nasal sounds have come, it has come because of the Anuswara.
Okay. Usually on the first sight, we will think there is no Sandhi in it.
On the first sight, we will think there is no Sandhi in it. Okay. So in the examination and all, if they give you Munchati, split the Sandhi, you will be wondering where is this Sandhi in this. So we must know that Munchati, that inch, that Nya sound has come from Anuswara. That is how it is. So this is how the words are formed in the language. Okay. So this is.
Though the second word has no meaning.
No,
Kinta, Chati and all.
For the sake of example, these words have been given, right?
Okay. Okay.
But actually speaking, there is nothing called Chati, Dhanam and all. You look
Okay.
at. So this
Okay.
is one pada only, right?
Okay.
But this we cannot write this because what is this Anuswara is followed by a consonant, correct? We cannot write this as, for example,
Amkita.
Ankita, right? Where is that pen? Yeah. You cannot, because it is plus kita, you cannot write like this. Ki ta. This is not correct. Understood? We have to write as Ankita only. Because suppose in a dictation, you are given a dictation, write the word Ankita hai. Now, Ankita hai, when you say Ankita hai, there is a Anuswara, you can hear the sound, isn't it? Ankita hai is the word. We can hear the sound ing. So we must immediately, there is a Anuswara and it is followed by kita hai. And because of that, that Anuswara should be changed to the respective nasal sound. That is how we have to write. Because this is language being what we say that,
Sound based. Phonetic.
So all these things becomes very, very important. The Sandhi rules becomes very important, especially when we are dealing with sounds.
Like that, Pungavaha.
Pungavaha, so many. I mean, you can, these Sandhis, we will include. Till now, we have not looked at these Sandhis in the Bhagavad Gita, exam.
Okay.
But next
Raghuji, I have a question, Raghuji.
Yeah.
In the Bhagavad Gita second chapter, I don't remember the Dronancha. Remember, it says Dronam cha. So how does the Anuswara Sandhi seems, Parasarna Sandhi, but there is, how do you break it? Dronancha Madhusudanaha.
Dronam is a separate pada, cha is a separate pada.
Okay. But still the pronoun, I hear Swamiji pronounce Dronancha.
Yeah, Dronancha will say that there you will write na and the Anuswara on top of it.
Oh, I see. Okay. I got it. I don't remember.
Pronounce the Dronam, isn't it?
Yes. But we say Dronancha. Yeah.
Dronam, because that Anuswara has got two pronunciation. Either you can fully pronounce Anuswara as Dronam, or you can even convert that Anuswara into a Nakara and pronounce it as Dronancha.
So that's optional. It's not compulsory. It's optional.
Yeah. Even if you say Dronamcha, it's not wrong.
Okay. Okay.
When it
Because-
comes normal, but in Vedic chanting, you have to be very careful.
Okay.
Vedic chanting, you should not use im, because when you see im, it increases half matra.
Okay. I see. Okay. Thank you, Raghuji. Thank you.
Meter by half a matra when you say im.
Mm, mm,
Whereas when you say dronancha,
mm,
that retains the meter.
mm. Okay.
So there are very technical issues. These things are all
Okay,
high.
I see. Oh, there in Vedic Swara, if you don't do that, the tone changes. I get it. I just, yes, I
Yeah,
understand.
but
Okay,
otherwise,
thank you.
it doesn't matter. In Bhagavad Gita, in text and all, it doesn't matter. You can use both the ways.
Okay,
But
okay,
Vedic
thank you,
chanting,
Raghuji.
one has to be very careful.
Mhm.
Okay. Because they say Shancha me, Mayascha me, Priyancha me, Nukamascha me, Kayamascha me. There
You cannot say Shancham. You cannot fully pronounce it. I get it.
Shamchame. You cannot say,
Shamcham.
you say Shanchame.
Yeah, you cannot say Shamchame. Oh, I get it.
You
I
cannot
get it.
say Shamchame. So that Makara converted into Nakara sound is compulsory in Veda, whereas other places it is optional. That's why Panini has actually dealt with Chandas rules separately in Ashtadhyayi, which of course we have not been taught, we have not studied. My Vedic chanting is because I learned Vedic chanting from a guru, so that way I know it rather. Otherwise, there are a lot of rules for Vedic chanting which is covered in Ashtadhyayi, which we have not, I have not studied, and I will have to study Ashtadhyayi first to teach anybody. So there are a lot of grammar aspects in the Vedic chanting also, which is important. But here we are going to deal only with the Gita and Smriti and other Itihasa, Puranas and all that. So there these are not compulsory. Okay. So that is so far as Parasavarna Sandhi is concerned. Now we'll go to the next one. Okay. Okay, so there is not over. So this rule is optionally applied in the case of Anuswara at Padanta. Examples are Sam plus Yati. Now you see here, there are two padas here, right? Yati is a separate pada, Badaha is a separate pada, Lakshanam is a separate pada. So in the earlier case, the Anuswara was occurring within the pada. Here, what is the rule for Padanta? Padanta, it is optional. Okay. So optional means what? That you can, and what this ya actually gets converted into ya sound. That is the equivalent, because this is not belonging to any of the varga, any of the, tavarga, kavarga and all that, any of the consonant classes. So ya, the equivalent nasal sound is ya. Va equivalent nasal sound is va. And la is la. Right? The slight anuswara sound should come. So sam plus yati will become sanyati or just sanyati. So you can convert this anuswara into a separate, nasal letter and then add yati, or you can just use the same anuswara, sam plus yati, sanyati. This option is there when the anuswara occurs at the end of the pada. Similarly, samvadaha, sallakshanam. But what has happened is, by practice, very rarely you will come across these forms, this sanyati and all that, with anuswara being converted. Wait. Something has happened there. This is not okay. Eraser, pen, yeah. So this is one rule. When Refa as well as Shasha Saha follow Anuswara remains Anuswara, as in Amsha hai, Kamsa hai, Samhita, etc. So this is the additional point regarding Anuswara, Parasavarna Sandhi we have to know. So there are three rules that we have to remember. One is when Anuswara is within the pada, then depending upon what sound follows that Anuswara within the pada, that Anuswara is converted into the corresponding nasal sound. This is the first rule. Okay, that is within the pada. The second rule is when the Anuswara is followed, is at the end of the pada, then when we are when the following letter is ya, va, ra, ya, va, la, then we have an option either to convert the Anuswara into the nasal sound of ya, va, la, or don't do anything, just put both the words together and then you get the form. This is the second rule. And because yara, lava is there, no, when refa is left out in this rule, but when refa as well as shasha, sa, ha, which is our sibilants, right? When they follow, then Anuswara remains Anuswara, and we don't do anything with that. It like Amsha, Kamsa, Samhita, etc. So these are the three rules that we have to remember so far as Parasavarna Sandhi is concerned. Any doubt now in this? Or shall we go to the next Sandhi?
Yes.
We can go.
Good.
Yes.
The next Sandhi is a very nice Sandhi called Torli. Vijay Swamiji keeps on repeating this story. He likes this Torli rule very much for some reason. So when a Tavarga is followed by a Lakara, it becomes Parasavarna. Similar sound to the following, which is either Lakara or Lakara. That is La with the Anuswara. So among the Parasavarnas, the most similar sound in terms of sthana has to be the substitute under this rule. In this case, the substitute for ta, tha, da, dha and il is il, because they all have dantas as their sthana. So that's why we studied that, from where the sound is being made. They are very, very important in the language. It's a sound-based language. So from which part of the mouth, what sound is being made, we must remember that and identify the similar sounds. That is what is called sthana. Sthana and prayatna are two very, very important aspects of the entire language. Okay.
Like that, there are some sutras which say where the sounds emanate.
Yeah.
Dandoshto and down.
Absolutely. Every sound Paniniji has said from where. What is the name also? This name Dantya and Murdhanya and all that has been given by Paniniji only. Somebody is going to practical class now.
Jai Shri ji.
Jai Shri.
Jai Shri ji, Krishna Kumar ji, all are unmuted.
Unmuted.
Wow.
But I am not giving any sound.
Yeah, no sound is coming. But suddenly I heard, I thought I was in the Vishnu Sahasranam class. Anyhow, so here, when a takara is there, lakara is the corresponding substitute. Okay. Whereas the substitute for nakara is un, because nakara is what is a nasal sound. So the lakara nasal sound has to be with the this Chandra Bindu. Okay. Because nakara is both dantas and nasika also as their sthana. It's a double sthana is there for nakara. So this is the rule. When tavarga is followed by L, lakara, it becomes parasavarna. Example is tad layaha becomes tal layaha. Jahat Lakshana becomes Jahal Lakshana. Udlekaha becomes Ullekaha. Then Shraddhavan Labate. Because now in is double sthana, it is both Danta and Nasika. So it will become Shraddhavan Labate. There is the Chandra Bindu on top. Then Iman Lokan will become.
How to read that, Guruji, with both Chandra Bindu as well as La?
Yeah, because there are two things are there, one is Chandra Bindu, one
Yes.
nasal sound. And as per the rule, the Nakara is belonging to Tavarga.
Yes.
It has to be converted into Lakara.
Ah.
So both will apply in the case when it is ending with Nakara.
No. How did you read it, Guruji? Just wanted to hear it once again.
Shraddhavan Labate.
Oh, N and La both should be heard. Dantavan, Labat. Okay.
Shraddhavan Labate. That one sound, nasal sound should come.
Okay.
But Raghuji, in some of the verses, I don't know, Shraddha and Labate, it is in one of the Vedic mantras, but if it comes in any other, you don't have to put the Chandra Bindu, is it?
If the word is Shraddhavan Labate, you have to put, otherwise it will become Shraddhavan Labate, right?
No, but it always is Shraddhavan. They're not putting, maybe the script is like, there is a word Shraddhavan Labate Bhavati,
Correct, but if the words are put together, right? If somebody has written Shraddhavan and Labate separately, that means first that person has not understood the grammar and it is an inappropriate usage of the grammar.
Okay.
When the Nakara is followed by Lakara, and this thoroughly is not an optional Sandhi, it's a compulsory Sandhi.
Okay.
So you have to make the Sandhi when this thing comes. When such a combination comes. So when you come across any word which is ending is the Nakara, followed by a Lakara, then you have the Nakara has to be changed. Two changes have to be done. One is Nakara has to be converted into Anuswara. Right? That is that Nakara Anuswara is this Chandra Bindu. And the Labate, that Nakara again takes a Lakara Adesha also.
Okay.
So there will be double L with the Chandra Bindu on top. Shraddhaval Labate. Imal Lokan Preshya. You check up all the Chandogya Upanishad and all that. And let me actually to take time. Otherwise, I would have checked up this what is that our Mantra Pushpam book and identified, given you words. Maybe I can still do that in the next Wednesday class. Few examples from the Vedas of where this usages comes. Shraddhaval, because these are all from Upanishads.
It's also in Mundaka. I have seen in Mundaka Upanishad Shraddhavan Labate. That's what I have to see the script.
Yeah.
My eyes, my blind,
Don't worry. I will do the work. I will do some research and give you a few words at the beginning of the next class about where this particular Sandhi, which is Nakara followed by La, that with this Chandra Bindu Anuswara appears in the texts rather. In fact, if possible, I can even take a screenshot and show you the screenshots. Why, if possible? It is possible. I can do that. Okay, so but this is the rule. We must note the rule that if there is no Anuswara, that is, if there is no Nakara at the end, then all other four sounds, they will just take a extra L, right? That will get converted into Lakara only. So that will Tad Laya will go Tal Laya, right? Because the Da is converted into Lakara. Here Takara is converted into Lakara, Jahal Lakshana. That here again Da is converted into Lakara, Ulleka. But here two changes take place. One is nakara is converted into lakara, and also nakara, the presence of nakara is already nakara is a nasal sound, right? So far as tavarga is concerned, what is the nasal sound? It is nakara. So in order to indicate that this, it is a nakara which has been converted into lakara, that nasal sound is added in the top. And that's why we have to say Shraddhaval Labate, Iman Lokan Preshya. Kathopanishad also comes these usages. So I will look up our mantra pushpam and pick up some words and show it to you in the next class. Okay. So this is the rule of Torli, where tavarga takes a lakara adesha. Tavarga ending letters, words that last letter of tavarga, that becomes a parasavarnaha. In the sense that followed by lakara, it becomes a lakara. So this is another rule. You can call it in one way extension of the parasavarna rule. Okay. Then there is one more rule. It is got namudagama sandhi. Right. Your namud represents three sounds. Don't ask me, right? Because nga is na, then mu is nakara, then it is nakara. Okay. But this namud is it is having some it letters and all. So you can forget that namud, it's only given a name, namudagama, but actually these three sounds, that is nakara, nakara, and nakara. These are the three sounds representing this namut label. Okay, namut is just a label. We have to remember these are the three sounds. So when these three sounds at the end of the pada is preceded by a short vowel, hraswa, and followed by any other vowel, that is ach, that these three sounds, na, nakara, 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 is added to that nakara, 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 that is, it is duplicated when it is followed by a ach. Okay. So for example, pratyang plus atma is there. So pratyang is there in this, in one of the namut, then followed by a ach, atma. So when we add these two, this nakara gets duplicated. It becomes pratyangatma. Pratyangatma. That's how we have to pronounce it. Okay. Then sugun plus isha. Again, that nakara is reduplicated. Sugun plus another nakara plus isha, sugunnisha. Then pashyan api. Pashyan api. This is what happens in this namudagama sandhira. Okay. We would have come across all these words. We would never wonder why Pashyan and plus api should become Pashyan api. Why two nakaras? How two nakaras have come in place of one? We would never have wondered. But that it has come because of the effect of this particular sandhi. Got it?
Only the third one is familiar, Raghuji. The first two seems
Correct.
like...
Pratyangatma you will come across, right? But Sugun Isha, I have also, for me also. But if you apply the rule, that's the form you should get.
Yeah.
It must be somewhere. Because if this,
I'm sure it is there. I'm telling you that I haven't, I mean, from my limited, and of course, Pashyan Napi I have heard, but this one, Suguni.
yeah, Sugunisha we might not have heard, but the rule is applicable. This is how the rule works rather. Okay. But the important point is it should be followed by a ach. This na, and na should be followed by ach, then they get duplicated. Okay. This is what is called namudagama sandhi. Okay. Then the next one is purna savarna sandhi. This is another interesting sandhi. When ha is preceded by a jai, the ha is replaced by the most similar letter among Savarna letters of the preceding letters, that is Purna Savarnas. Among the Purna Savarnas, the most similar letter to ha is determined by Bahya Prayatna, which is hard or soft, and Alpa Prana or Mahaprana. Okay. So Bahya Prayatna has got two. One is hard consonants and soft consonants, and then is Alpa Prana and Mahaprana. Depending on that, we determine which is the word which will replace, which is the sound which will replace this ha sound. Because it cannot be decided by sthana, because ha is what? It doesn't have the Bahya, as Bahya Prastha, ha is soft, and Mahaprana, the four letters of each class as ig, j, d, id, and ib are most similar to ha. So whenever we are converting this, we have to remember that it should be Mahaprana soft consonants conversion, respective. Now examples are given. Preceding is a kavarga, preceded by jai. Jai will cover all the five vargas. Okay. So preceding kavarga, if the following letter is ha, then what is the kavarga consonant which will take Mahaprana? It is gha, right? Are you following me?
Yes, Ji.
Yes, slowly.
Trying
Yes.
to Guru.
Just
Yeah.
trying to read and follow.
Trying
Trying to
to.
read and follow. Okay, take your time to read, no problem.
Heard you, but trying to relate because this is little bit.
No, this is very, again, Veda chanting, this is extremely important. Okay. Especially in Lagunyasa, I can quote one whole paragraph where Srinivasanji is there.
So that will be homework for some of us. I do know Lagunyasa. Now I'm going to go figure out how did that come about,
Yeah.
Dig banda hai. Dig banda hai.
Agirke vachi shrita hai. Vag hridaye. That comes. That
Yes.
ta is followed by a ha.
Ha.
How will you pronounce? You will pronounce a vag hridaye. You won't pronounce vag hridaye. But because gakara, then it will take the Mahaprana sound. And vag hridaye, that's how you have to pronounce that letter, that word.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are all very, very highly finer points of Veda chanting rather. Okay. So kavarga, if it is followed by ha, it will become gha. Chavarga followed by ha, it will become ja. I'll give you the examples. Tavarga followed by ha, it will become dha. Tavarga followed by ha, it will become dha. Pavarga followed by ha will become bha. Like dig plus harihi. It will become diggarihi. Right? That's how you have to pronounce it. Diggarihi. Then aja plus hinaha. Aj plus hinaha. Chavarga. Aj plus hinaha will become ajjinaha. Then lit, tavarga, lit plus harati, lit dharati. Then tavarga, durad hute, durad dhute. Then pavarga, ab plus hasti, abhasti. So all that additional, that ha is changed to the Mahaprana sounds of the respective vargas.
Should it not be written without the plus sign?
Yeah, it should be written continuously only.
Okay.
But
so your understanding.
I have taken a screenshot from Veda Michika's book, so she has written like this, so it is like this.
Okay.
But otherwise, it should be written like, for example, Vag Hridaye, right? It should be written as Vag Hridaye. You are able to see this?
Guruji, basically the letter ha
Da
is
is there, no?
softening the sound from third to fourth varna, right?
Yes, the ha sound is, it changes into the soft mahaprana of the
From
respective class.
from third to fourth.
From third to fourth. Yes, you can say, call it from third to fourth. Third to fourth. That's what happens. So aj plus hrasva become ajrasva. Syad plus hrasva becomes syadrasva. Tad plus heenam becomes tadheenah. Because this id plus ha we come across very often. Rather, tadheenah. Ab plus asati become abbasati. Samud plus harta becomes samudharta. So
Samudharta usually come across.
with samudharta, tadhina we come across very often. Right? This Vagridaya type you will come across in
Vedic
Vedas.
chanting.
In
Prarthana slokas.
Lagunya slokas. But this Ajrasva, Syadrasva and all must be there somewhere which we have not come across. These are only examples. I mean, wherever this rule is applicable, we must remember. In fact, the other way we can, suppose we come across this word, Syadrasva, right? Now we must understand that it is actually, when we split it, it will be Syad plus Hrasva is what has become Syadrasva. So that way, we will be able to understand these two padas which are involved in that, Syad plus Rasva. When the sandhi, when we want to break the sandhi, then we must know that this dra, which is there, which is the soft mahaprana, should be converted into a ha. So that is what we must, this sandhi is useful in doing that, rather. Understanding of the sandhi is useful in doing that. Any more doubt?
I have a question. I don't see this sandhi in Michika Meda's book. That is Purva. That's what Parasvarna only I see. I don't see the Purva Savarna. It's not in their book.
Correct. So I told you what.
Oh, I know you told me, but you since you quoted.
What I have done is, in order to give it a completion, but to the best
Okay.
extent possible.
Okay. No, I don't. But I was
You
just
will
following
find
and I
this,
asked you.
this Sunday you will find in this Sanskrita Bharati book.
Okay, I don't have that. That's what I just, because to go over it after you said to compare, that's all.
Correct,
Because they
correct.
have some exercise behind her book, so I
Yes,
tried to do.
what has happened is, there is some sandhis which I have covered in 1, 2, 3 parts, right? A, B, C and all. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Did I do that? You remember?
Yes.
Part 1, the Shtutvam, and somewhere and all I have done. What Meda Michika ji has done is, she has actually split them into separate sandhis.
Yes. I see that when you are doing it. I just saw when I went home. Yes.
So, because then sometimes it could be confusing. 2, 3 rules coming in under one sandhi. Even though from a Panini's point of view, they must have all been part of the same sutra or the following sutras. What I have done based upon both the texts, which is Michikaji's book as well as the Sanskrita Bharati, I have prepared this so that the things are very clear, rather. And wherever it is all together, like Stutvam or Schutvam and all that, I put them together under A, B, C categories like that. And there are 2, 3 sandhis which she has included, which from my point of view, it is not necessary for us to understand, because very rare usages of those sandhis we will come across. So the second Rutvam she has used one place. So like that. So that is the answer to that. That it is what I am presenting to you is the cherry picked from both the texts rather, and giving you a much bigger, because there are many sandhis which Michika ji has shown, which is not there in Samskrita Bharati book. So that is another issue rather. Samskrita Bharati also doesn't cover all the sandhis. But I have tried to cover using both the texts. I have tried to cover as much as possible, which I personally feel is very relevant, useful. We may come across this whether in Veda chanting or in Bhagavad Gita chanting, Vishnu Sahasranama, and all that kind of a thing, which is what is our goal to understand, all those sandhis there. So there, these sandhis which we are talking about will be relevant for that. That is what my approach is. Are you satisfied with that answer?
Oh, I'm very much satisfied. I mean, I'm not even questioning you, so I was wondering.
No, I understand that. But that's a right you question, because it gave me an opportunity to restate what I said in the beginning.
Okay.
Here is a practical example of what I said in the beginning, that no single textbook is covering all the sandhis. So that is the problem. In fact, initially when I was preparing these slides and all that, this material, it took me a lot of time to understand, because normally our orientation is whenever there is a topic, everybody will talk about the same thing in the topics, right? But I could not relate what was Medha Michika's book was there. I could not relate to what Samskrita Bharati book was saying. Now I had to first of all study both and then say, okay, this is the name Medha Michika has given. This is the name it appears in Samskrita Bharati. Content is the same. One advantage with Medha Michika's book is she has quoted all the Panini Sutras. Whereas this Samskrita Bharati book, they have not quoted the Panini Sutras. So we cannot know from Samskrita Bharati if there is a Sandhi rule, which is the sutra on basis of that Sandhi rule is derived, we cannot know. Which we can know from Medha Michika's book. So I had an advantage with Michika's book, because once I see the Sandhi number, the sutra number, I could actually go and look at the sutra, the commentary of the sutra, and exactly, find out what exactly the Sandhi does. So that the advantage is there with Medha Michika's book rather. So that is what it is. Whatever it is, I would want you to focus on what I am teaching you, because that is more comprehensive compared to the both this thing. But I
because I'm not even reading anything other than what you teach. Okay, I don't want to go beyond. But I was curious, that's all. Curiosity.
Fair enough. Curious, that's quite fair enough. Because what I feel is that from a point of view of what our approach is, because Medha Michika, she has written the book based upon what she has to teach in the Gurukulam, which teaching is only Panini Sutras, right? And for our purposes, we are not focusing on Panini Sutras at all at this point in time. So we are trying to bring the grammar part of it from Panini Sutras, but presenting it in a language or in a format which we can relate to, and then with examples, it will be much more clear to us. We don't need to know the Panini Sutras if we know what the content of the sutras are. So that is a slight difference in these approaches. But anyhow, this is what I have done is comprehensive. So you can rely on that. In this, if there are any mistakes, you please point out to me if you come across. I will be happy to correct it rather. Because to err is human. I am also a human being. Oh, yeah. So that is why. Okay. So now let us try to finish this Sandhi chapter. The 15th Sandhi is what is called Chatvam. Chatvam is the letter Cha is optionally the substitute for Ish when the Ish is preceded by a Jai and followed by an At. It's a very complicated rule, so don't worry too much about it. Only thing is, when you come across a word which has got a chakara in that, a pada which has got a chakara, then you just will have to look at it little carefully whether that chakara is actually a replacement for a shakara or not. That's all. That much you remember. Because chakara can appear on its own, or chakara could appear as a replacement for a shakara. That is the maximum thing that you have to take away from this particular sandhi. And I can tell you one more thing. you will, this is again a very, very rare usages we will come across in the scriptures or whatever we are focusing on. But I'm actually still trying to search for a word in Bhagavad Gita where I can, give the example. I have not been able to get such a word till now. But of course, I will come only first and second chapter. But I will search it. I'm sure somewhere this Shakara getting converted into Chakara will be there. That word will be there. When I get it, I will show it to you, or we can use that example. But for our present purposes, we can say that Tad Shete. Now, when this rule is applied, we have to, more rules will also kick in rather. Because this is the final rule rather, right? So previously we have seen certain rules. So in Sandhi Prakriya, what we have to remember is that a rule cannot be applied blindly unless we actually go step by step. Now, for example, there is a word Tad plus Shete. We have to make a Sandhi of this. In the first stage, this Dakara is there, right? And Shakara is there. We have seen Shutvam Sandhi. So it will, that Dakara will take what? What is Shutvam? Anybody remembers?
Shutvam is Takara becomes Chakara.
This one. Sakara becomes, and the Chavarga letter are converted to Shakara and Chavarga. Okay. So what we have got here? Da is a Tavarga. Correct?
Yes, Guruji.
What happened?
Yes, Guruji. Ta, da.
Yeah.
So that becomes Chavarga, Taj it becomes, right? So first it will take Shutvam. Then it will take Chartvam. Ja will become Ich. So you apply Chartvam rule. You get Tach Shete. Now what happens? When we combine this, that Shakara can either become Chakara or it can remain as Shakara only. This is an optional rule rather. Okay. Optionally converted. Correct. Yes, we do Chakara.
We can do Chartvam and then Shutvam, right? That also is possible. That becomes Tat and then Tat can become Touch.
Yeah, but then you will not, you have to do Chutvam only first, then only Chartvam. The reason being that there's another technical reason here. That is, actually, the more I go deep into it, the more I have to explain. In Panini Sutras, these sutras are in certain order. And they appear in what is called the Tripadi. That is the in the second, third, and fourth sections of the 8th chapter. Now, in those sutras, the speciality is that you cannot go back. So those sutras, when they are applied, they have to be applied in the same sequence only. You cannot apply a later sutra and then go back to a previous sutra. So that is why here, if you do that, first you apply Chartvam, what will happen? First of all, Chartvam is applicable or not, we have to see. What is the Chartvam rule?
The third Varna becomes first Varna.
Third Varna becomes first Varna. Correct? So Tad is there. So Tad will become what?
Tat.
It will become Tat. Right?
Yeah.
Then what will you apply to get it?
Then Chartvam will become, if you apply, Tat will become Touch.
Then then Touch will become Takara will become Chakara.
Yes.
Final answer will be same, but it's only a sequence.
Yeah, but according to Panini rules, one has to go according to this sequence only rather.
So that means there are 3 changes, couple of changes, not just one change,
Yeah,
step
three
by
changes,
step.
you have to apply three sandhi rules
Oh,
here.
okay. You can't straight
You can't straight away go.
Panini makes us
understand the
very,
process.
Raghuji, Panini makes us work very hard. I can tell you that.
No, because you see what happens is when you go deep into the subject, there are so many elements there. Actually, I would say Paniniji is exactly done. Suppose, I give the example of a repair of a watch, wristwatch. I mean, I'm not talking about the modern wristwatches, which is all battery operated. I'm talking about the old, that winding wristwatch. When that watchmaker or the watch repairer, he opens that watch, there are so minute parts which are there. He separates all of them rather. And then he should know how to put them back also. It should not be that at the end of the day, he puts everything back, watch is working, but 2 parts are on his table still. So what Paniniji has done is he has gone deep into the language and tried to understand how this whole process is coming. Because in one example, for example, a shortcut may be working, but that shortcut will not help if you take another example. So what Paniniji has done is he has gone to the root, the root of all these processes and then devised the grammar rules in such a way that in whatever examples you take, that if you follow the grammar rules, you will come to the form. It's actually a reverse engineering which he has done. He has got only the words from Vedas and all. Those words, he has identified the pattern. He has actually done reverse engineering, gone into that, how that can be, converted so that people will understand. That is what he has done, rather. So in these cases, as I said, first of all, Chatvam, you don't worry too much because, as I said, it's a very rare occurrence, this Chatvam. But to arrive at the Chatvam, this is what you have to do. You have to convert them into, if this Dakara, it gets converted to Chutvam, then Chartvam, and then you have the option to Tachete or Tachete, you can do. Similarly, another example, Madhulid plus Shete. Madhulid is Dakara, so that Madhulid will become first Chartvam, that is Madhulid plus Shete. Then it will become Madhulit Chete or Madhulit Shete. Chatvam options are there. I think almost we are almost they have got 2 minutes, so no problem. So this Chatvam is a rare rule we'll come across. Now this rule is extended to substitution of Chakara for Shakara when the Shakara is preceded by a Jai and followed by For example, Tad plus Slokena. The first is Chutvam, Taj plus Slokena, then Chartvam, Taj plus Slokena, then become Taj Slokena or Taj Slokena. 2 options are there, Chatvam options. Then Tat plus Mashruna, it will become Tacha Mashruna, right? Tat will become Ich. Then it will Tacha Mashruna or Tachmashruna, this will become. But as I said, these are all very, very rare occurrences. Need not worry, but just for the sake of completion, I included this Sandhi also in this Sandhi module. That completes our all Sandhis, Visarga Sandhi, Ach Sandhi and Hal Sandhis. Okay. So at least one topic we have completely covered. Now, because I will now do homework, I will show you. Sorry.
One doubt. Is Chatvam always optional or it's optional only after Chatvam and Shustvam?
Somebody is in my class or in some other class? I think it's wrong. No, what
Double class. Double class.
Huh?
I said double class, your class and some other class.
Yeah.
Yes.
So somebody is doing do a double role. So what was the question? Can you please come again? The question. Hello? Hello?
I think he asked if Chatvam was optional or something. This is what I think I heard.
Chartvam.
Chatvam.
Chatvam is optional.
Okay.
Chakara, last one we saw.
Okay. I think that's
That
what he
is
asked.
optional in the sense you can either change the Shakara to Chakara or keep the Shakara as Shakara only. That is the option.
Yeah, I think that's what he asked, if I remember correct. But he's not here anymore.
No, but Chatvam, I came back, network. No, the Chatvam is optional or not? That's my question. As a third Sandhi, after doing Chatvam and Chatvam.
No. See, option means if you are going to use the option of converting Shakara into Chakara, right? Then the previous words also has to be converted. No, that's no, sorry. Why? I understand your question now. That is not option. Conversion of the Chartvam, Chutvam and all what we saw. Are you still there or again?
I am there, but my wife is taking some Tripura class. So there will be some crosstalk. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I will explain to you. I think I understood what you want.
No, the first two.
What you are saying is in Tadshete.
Okay, I understand it's compulsory. The Tutvam is.
See, this Chutvam and Chartvam, they are not optional. Okay. What is optional is replacement of the Shakara with Chakara. That is optional.
Yeah, the Chatvam is optional. The third one is optional.
Third one is optional, whereas Chutvam and Chatvam are not optional. If you want to use this, whether you are converting this using the option or not, this Dakara has to get converted to Chakara through Chutvam and Chartvam.
Okay, Guruji, yeah, got it.
Got it? So
But
this
it is
not optional. This is compulsory. But only this is.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
But okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any more doubt? Just note it down. We can discuss it in the next class. Not a problem. So I will just show you the homework. But where is it? Where is it? And then say the prayers. 1 second. Let's see the homework. Open reason. Work. Then go back here. Share. So I have given you three slokas, as I said last time. Sankaro narakayaiva kulagnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hesham nukta pindo daga kriya. This is 142. Doshai retaihi kulagnana. Oh, this should be kulagnana, not kulagnana. Again, typing mistake. Okay. Doshe retai kulagnanam marna sankara karakaihi utsadhyante jati dharma hai kula dharmascha shashvata hai. Then na chaita dvimnah kataranno gariyo yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyuhu yaneva hatvana jiji vishamas vastitaf pramuke datra rashtra hai. So these are the things. This is from the second chapter. The first two are from the first chapter. So this is the homework. So you all work, and I will also work, and then we will see the answers on Wednesday first thing. Okay. And now say the prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnatya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all. Any more questions?
Namaste Guruji. Namaste
Thank you.
Guruji.
Namaste. Any more questions are there?
Raghuji, this is again, then what will be the after we answer the, what you call, after
Next
you go
week,
through the
next
answer of
week,
the.
we will do lesson 24 and lesson 25. We will complete that in 2-3 classes. And then I will take you to this Subhantas. Subhanta chapter, like Sandhi we did, we'll complete the chapter. Ending Subhantas, Sarvanamas, Halantas, everything we will complete in one go. So that is the
24,
timetable.
lesson 24, 25, we'll go through all the sandhis we have learned. It's just not.
Yes, sir, we will. Yeah. Our focus now will not be on only the 1 bar 3, 1 bar 4, 3 bar 1 and all. It will include the sandhis also.
I mean, all the sandhis, not just the
all the
Visarga.
sandhis. Yeah, now we have completed all the sandhis.
Yeah, I mean, just,
We must
yeah.
practice all the sandhis.
Thank you, Raghuji.
Right. Thank you. So shall I close the session?
Raghuji, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
No more
Dhanyawad.
question, then I will close it.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari
Hari Om.
Om. Thank you. Thank you.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.